All right. Welcome, friends. Happy Monday. Let me know if you're joining me live. Cheers to a new week. I have a nugget home with me, so I may get blessed with some extra presents today. Hard to say. If we do, so be it. Good morning, Leslie. Good to see your sweet face. Good morning, Janice. Oh, I hope you guys had an awesome weekend. I am so excited to come chat with you. Oh, good morning, Michelle. I'm so excited to come chat with you this morning because it's something that I'm just absolutely passionate about, and that is connecting you to the power of presence. And I don't mean physical gifts. I mean your presence. So I wrote down a quote: "Your presence is the most precious gift you can give another human being." And that was by Marshall B. Rosenberg. And it's so true. When we think about living in a present moment, it's where your feet are planted, right? And think about the difference. Think about for a minute, especially with those of you who have littles, think about for a minute the difference that it makes when you put your phone away, you shut off social media, you shut off TVs, you shut off all of these external things, and you just be with them. What difference does that make for those kids? Like, think about their behavior, think about their tone of voice, think about how they talk to themselves or talk to you. Everything shifts. Everything shifts. So, what does it mean to be fully present? It means that you are 100% conscious in this moment. You are not thinking about your never-ending to-do list. You're not thinking about the past or the future. You are presently planted in the now. So your mind is not racing with thoughts. And I have something about this after. Like I said, you're free from external distractions and you are living in the moment. How does it feel? I don't know. Ask a friend. Any of you that have been peaceful, Jesus, any of you that are present, that live mindfully in the present moment, that are on with me now, drop it in the comments and tell me, living in a present moment where you're not distracted by other things, how does it make you feel? I would love to know. And totally, Michelle, a difference for yourself. I haven't got to that part yet, but it's easier for us to think of other people than it is for ourselves, which is why I wanted to make that connection first. But how does it feel? Let me know. When I'm present with my kids, I feel connected. I feel like we're having genuine connections, or my husband, or my friends, whoever it is. I feel joyful. I feel grounded. I feel, what other words can I think of? Like peaceful. It feels good. It feels good to like give someone happier. Yes, Leslie, it feels good to give someone your undivided attention and get it back. I keep saying my video signal is interrupted. I don't know what the hell's going on today. Like, you're making such memories that will be, yes, absolutely, Michelle. When I was growing up, my favorite memories are the ones where my mom and I were like doing something together, because it was just her and I when I was a kid. And it was not when we were like at home in front of the television watching a movie. Granted, there's a place and time for movie nights, don't get me wrong, but it was when we were doing things and we were being physically active and present and in the moment together, finding joy in the moment together. Core memories. Oh, Leslie, hitting my heart. It's so true. It's so true. So I want you to think about it. You've probably all heard of like Maslow's hierarchy of needs, right? There's different levels of needs that humans need in order to feel and thrive, right? And so at the very lowest level of needs is things like your basic needs: food, shelter, water, comfort, clothing, like those kind of things, right? And then you have, sorry, I'm checking because I don't want to mess it up. Then you have safety needs, like you need to feel safe and secure, right? Then you have needs of belonging. Hello, we need to belong. As humans, we're wired to do things together, in connection, not in isolation. So we need to feel that sense of love and belonging, community, those kind of things, family, all of it, right? Then you have kind of the next level, like physiological or psychological needs, which also the belonging fits into that too. I really feel, this is my just personal opinion, what the hell do I know? But I really feel like belonging is one of the base. It's more of like the physiological needs than it is a psychological need. I think it can go into both categories. My opinion, take it or leave it. But then you have like self-esteem. So, having confidence in yourself and self-respect for yourself and for others and those kind of needs, right? And then at the very top of the pyramid, you have like self-actualization needs, okay? And that is like, you're recognizing your ability, being able to problem solve, thinking for yourself, like those higher level kind of thinking situations. You can't get to that if the needs below it are not already met, okay? Being mindful, living mindfully helps us meet all of those bottom needs. So when you think about, and like, I know I'm relating this a lot today with kids, but like, I mean, kids are one of my passions, and the future of our environment, of our earth, our planet, our consciousness, of everything relies on our kids and their kids' ability to be connected, right? And have the right, I'll say the right priorities at the top of their mind, right? So that's why it's so powerful to me. One thing that our society lacks right now is this idea of proximity. I don't know about what your household is like. I mean, I tried to be very conscious in mine, but like when you think of households in general, a lot of people don't eat supper together anymore. A lot of people don't, like, they'll spend time in separate rooms. Like the kids will be up in their bedroom playing, or like, outside playing while the parents are inside doing things, or whatever the case. Like there's not a lot of this proximity where people are kind of made to spend time together. When we think back into our grandparents' generation, like they lived in smaller houses. There wasn't technology, or if there was, it was like a radio show that everyone listened to together. It was family time, and they talked about it. They talked about what they liked about it. They talked about the good parts and the bad parts. If it was about political stuff, they talked about that, right? Like it brought people together. Think about funerals. How do we grieve in society right now? It's like, I don't want to say anything to upset them. And so we disconnect in a time when we need connection the most, right? And like when I think about particularly women's issues, like infant loss or miscarriage, or even the death of a family member, as a woman, like you are the one that is the glue of the family. You are expected to hold everyone else together. So who's holding you together in times of grief? It's not your community anymore, 9 times out of 10. Granted, I don't want to say that. I don't want to generalize. I know there's still a lot of communities. Like I taught in a Métis school for years. And one of the things that I idolized about that community is that when someone passed or when something tragic happened in the community, literally the entire community came together. There was events at the hall. There was food that was brought. There was people that came. There was, priests or whatever you resonated with, like people, healers, I'll call them for lack of a better word, that came to nurture people. Like all of the community came together and they surrounded everyone, because everyone experiences things differently, right? And so having that connected support, having that feeling of belonging makes these emotions, hi Bree, easier to handle and easier to deal with, right? And so living in that present moment, allowing yourself to feel all of those things that come flowing through when we think about hard stuff is a beautiful gift to give to yourself and to other people. So that, I think, is something that our society is lacking. And, it's really interesting. When we first moved down this way, we rented a house that was astronomically large. Like, I think it was like 500 square feet or something. And that was one thing that I said to John. I was like, I fucking hate this house. It's so big. It's so big. Like there's no coziness to it. There's no place for us to gather. And I mean, granted, I am the one that is religiously making my family sit at the table together every night and have conversations. But like, there isn't that level of proximity like you would have in like the old school houses that our grandparents grew up in. And that's something that I just absolutely love. So what are the benefits of living a mindful or present life? There's a laundry list of them, friends. And this is like proven research. I did not write down like specific stats or places that I drew this from, because I wanted to just give you a generalization. But it benefits your physical self. It can decrease stress and it can increase your sleep quality. when you are living mindfully for a long period of time. Now, I know that's a hard practice to get into, especially when we're used to having an overactive mind that's full of thoughts, that's full of worry, that's full of anxiety, that's full of like all of the things that we need to accomplish. I get that, but I promise it can happen. Speaking of which, it benefits our mind because it can act almost like an antidepressant. When you are living in the present moment, you're not in that place of worry or fear or anxiety because you're in this moment. You're not thinking about what's to come. You're not thinking about the challenges that the future holds. You're not thinking about all your mistakes. I'm going to put that in quotations, in the past, right? You are being present in the moment with the people that you're surrounded with or with yourself, whichever that looks like to you, right? One of the other things that I forgot to mention about your physical self, it boosts your immune system. When you can live in the present and you're not stressing yourself out, you are being a little bit more healthy, okay? It can benefit your emotions for two reasons. One, like I mentioned, with this idea of like surrounding yourself and having this place of belonging where you're present and you're allowed to feel and everything else, you're not burying emotions. You're not sweeping them under the rug because they're too hard to handle, because you are in a place where you can be present, you can allow yourself to feel it, and you can be supported by others who also care about you to get through those hard things, right? And let's be real, like I started off with, it improves relationships. It improves relationships with your kids, your family, your friends, your spouse, and also with yourself. Because when you can learn to be present, it allows you to have a huge amount of self-awareness. And that, my friends, is a game changer. So one tip that I have for you is to let your mind meet your body where it is at. Anytime that you feel yourself racing in life, if you feel like you are overwhelmed, if you feel like work is extensive and like stressful, if you feel like your kids are driving you crazy, you had a fight with your husband or your partner, like whatever that looks like to you, meet yourself where your body is at. So take a minute and come back into your body. Focus in and like think about, how does your breathing feel? Am I breathing fast and shallow, or am I breathing deep and slow? Does the air feel cold as I breathe it in? Am I breathing through my nostrils or am I breathing through my mouth? Good morning, Darlene. What else can you ask myself? How do I feel in my body? Am I feeling tension somewhere in my body? Are my shoulders tight? Am I clenching my fists and I don't even realize it? Have I got like my WTF lines like just running in overdrive right now? Like, what does that look like to you in your body? And there's a couple other questions that you can ask yourself that really just allow you to connect and give you that level of self-awareness. So I wrote them down because I didn't want to forget. What is perfect about this situation right now? That is a great question to ask yourself, because in a time of stress, it's hard to find the silver lining in things. But oftentimes when we find the silver lining, that bumps us back into that vibration of like love and gratitude, where the universe loves to talk to us and make things happen, right? So the more that we can be in that frequency, the more ease and joy that we're going to feel in our lives, right? So being present and allowing yourself to think about that is really going to help you stay there. Okay. And what do I like to do when I'm not focused on the past or future, but instead focused on the present moment? That's another thing that can kind of get us into this place of bringing ourselves back in, right? So a lot of times when our mind is overactive, like it's elsewhere. It's not with us in our physical body. It's in the future. It's in the past. It's in the to-do list. It's in the like argument that you had, like, or the energy of like rushing to get your kids out of the house on time in the morning so you're not late for work, whatever that looks like for you. It's not in the present moment. So by pulling yourself back into that and thinking about, okay, like what is it that I like to do when I'm not worrying about all these other things? How do I like to feel in this moment? What do I want to feel? There's the power of intention setting, like I've talked about before. Who do I want to be and how do I want to feel today? That's all that matters. It doesn't matter about tomorrow. Yesterday doesn't matter. It's already gone. You can't change it, right? And we can't predict the future. We can try and alter it with our path, but we can't predict it 100% because we always have free will and the ability to choose what we want to do and how we want to live our lives. So for any of you that struggle with living mindfully, with any of you that struggle with this overactive mind of yours, running thoughts, chaos, stress, like worry, anxiety, fear. Any of you have ADHD, that impulsivity, not being able to say no. Maybe you don't have diagnosed ADHD, but maybe you have a lot of tendencies. You are not going to want to miss my workshop that's coming up on the 25th of March. It is going to happen at 2 p.m. Mountain Central. Jesus. Can you tell it's Monday? Mountain Standard Time. Okay, let me just take a sip of this. And it is going to be powerful, my friends. So many of you know that I was a teacher for 16 years. Half of my career was spent on special needs. And I have done so many laundry list of courses, workshops, certifications, everything on like how to help people with ADHD. Now, a lot of these strategies obviously are for kids, but they transfer very easily to adults. And I use all of them for myself. I am not diagnosed with ADHD, but I am a very impulsive person because in my human design, I am wired I'm an emotional generator. So I have this emotional wave that is just crazy. So I experience a lot of those impulsive type things, and I need strategies that help me remain present and mindful and focused on what I am going to do, because especially working from home, can I just throw that in? It is so easy to be distracted when you're at home because there's, laundry upstairs that needs to be done, or there's dishes on the sink that you can see when you're, passing by, or, oh my God, there's a mess on the floor, like whatever, the dog needs to be walked, you name it. There's always a laundry list of something that can pull our attention away from us. So this workshop, my friends, if you have trouble focusing at all, this workshop is going to be a game changer for you. So I'm going to give you, it's over Zoom, it's interactive, one-on-one. I'm going to give you a little bit of training. There's going to be time for you to ask me questions about your specific life, basically coaching, right? Tell me what your problem is. I'm going to give you suggestions on how you can decrease those feelings of stress and overwhelm in your life particular. You are going to have a comprehensive workbook that's going to have all of the information from the presentation, plus activities that are going to help you calm this overactive mind of yours. Not only that, I'm going to teach you a movement meditation technique that is going to allow you to connect deeply with your thoughts, your feelings, your beliefs, everything else, but also at the same time, decrease your stress and calm your nervous system. It's a game changer, friends. So I couldn't save any of the information at the top of this video when I do it. So I'm going to go back in. I'm going to put the link to that masterclass, $44 Canadian, steal of a deal for the amount that you are going to get. Literally steal of a deal. And if you can't join me live, that's okay. Because if you register for the class, you will be sent a link where you can view the masterclass multiple times if you want to. So you'll have access to that movement meditation for as long as I am in business. Awesome, Leslie. I'm so excited. So, and like I said, as long as you're registered, the content, the book will be emailed to you, because when you register, you have to give me your email address. So that will be emailed straight to your inbox, and you'll have the availability to watch it whenever you have a chance that fits with your schedule. Okay. So I will drop those links. I'll leave you with those questions that I had said, and do your best to put yourself in a mindful and present position today. And I want you to see how it shifts your life. I love you guys. I'm so grateful to those of you who are able to join me live today. I absolutely love it when you guys can hop on with me. It makes me feel so loved and appreciated and in the moment with you. So I love that. I hope you have the best Monday, and I will see you again soon.